got some Mary in my backpack. Abstracts, thought I got some pen and paper. Fit the whiskey, coke, berry flapjacks. Roll it up and put it to my lips, no need to pass that. So up in summertime, I undermine the underlying fact that I scrape pennies, but I want a dime. She's something else, I got it now. Well, yeah, my dude, she's something fine. And since I got a shot at her, they salty. I tell them suck a lime, I wasn't mine. Now I'm just clowning, trying to scrape a number. Smile after I take it from her. Copacetic today, but in 2 days disintegrate to bummers. I thought I won her over, but I just created blunders. The game I hate and love her. Thinking back to times of playing B because of breaking rubbers. I was a wild child and still extra. All these women still extra. I'm just trying to find an ill chick and a chill spectrum to make my broken heart feel better. Let the ship set sail off to adventure. Got some Mary in my backpack. Abstracts, thought I got some pen and paper. Fit the whiskey, coke, berry flapjacks. Roll it up and put it to my lips, no need to pass that. Let the ship set sail off to adventure. Got some Mary in my backpack. Abstracts, thought I got some pen and paper. Fit the whiskey, coke, berry flapjacks. Roll it up and put it to my lips, no need to pass that. Pass that. Pass that. Pass that. Pass that.
Welcome back, baby. You know what time it is. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's Monday. Why are you seeing Gaff on Monday? We already got a live chat yesterday. That's weird. It's not. This is the new norm. On Monday, we've already talked about the fights that happened. We've already live watched the fights over the weekend. What's left to do with this? It's time to matchmake, bitch. Monday Matchmaker. I'm the host of this here channel. My name's Gaff. I do this shit every week. That's right. It's no longer every Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's every week now, motherfucker. We own the week, bitch. One more round fights. My name's Gaff. I'm the host of this here channel. I give you guys MMA and boxing tips, picks, parlays, tricks, you know, all that shit. And I'm back yet again after a nice fat slate of the weekend. You guys had me on Friday for CB units. You guys had me on Saturday for the watch along. You guys had me on Sunday for the live chat, wrapping it up after all the boxing. We didn't get to touch on Zuffa Boxing. Shout out to Zuffa Boxing, who had a great event last night. Shout out to Jose Valenzuela. Shout out to Sergey Bohachik. But yeah, let's talk about it. Scan the QR code right here to become a subscriber to the channel right here on YouTube. That'll get you familiar with our awesomeness, you know, the things that we do on the reggies, on the reggie poos. You feel me? All right, so sub to the channel, scan that QR code. We also have other channels that we we operate on. You should probably follow those too, you know. YouTube.com/one more round fights, Twitch, Kick, TikTok, Instagram, one more round fights, but X, it's one more round F8. So don't you forget that shit, bro. Because that's where we live tweet the fights. That's where we put out our bad graphics. We do a lot of stuff on those social medias. So don't forget to follow those as well. Don't just subscribe to the channel. But if you're just a subscriber, you might as well just subscribe to both our channels then. Main Card Minute, one more round fights. We operate on both of these right here. Saturdays, that's where you can catch us on the Main Card Minute doing full card watch-alongs for UFC numbered events, main card watch-alongs for the less than reputable UFC events, you know. And then everywhere else, boxing, PFL, one championship, all that. Right there, man. Right there. That's where you subscribe for everything else, okay? Because I'm here. I'm here for you guys. This mind wrapped around PFL, wrapped around boxing, wrapped around the UFC, okay? All day long, all week long, all right? So might as well give you guys some of this knowledge because it's starting to hurt my head. It's starting to hurt. If you got some wins or you got some good knowledge you got off this MMA channel, this boxing channel, this combat sports fight sphere channel, and you want to send some love, one more round fights at gmail.com. One more round fights at gmail.com. No sponsors for this segment. No sponsors, because the sponsors are bitches. They'll come around at some point, but I want every sponsor out there to know that you're some type of bitch, except for W.GG. I fuck with y'all. All right. Let's get into it, right? We're here to do matchmaking on UFC 325. We're here to do some matchmaking. I mean, let's talk about the first fight, shall we? Alexander Volkanovski put on an absolute show. An absolute show against Diego Lopes. The people that wanted to come see him have a good showing finally in Australia, defend the belt, they got what they wanted. They got what they wanted. And the people that wanted to see Diego in a rematch, they went home sad. They went home sad. The people that were questioning this matchup went home happy with "I told you so's" ready to shoot out in their friends' inboxes and various other social medias. They were ready to say "I told you so." I'll tell you that much. I was one of those people. So there's only a couple options you do with either guy because we're gonna do what we should have done in the goddamn first place. Okay? There's only 4 names involved, and anything else is wrong for these two gentlemen. Only 4 names. That's it. And for Volk, I think you know what I'm going to say. Yeah. Evloev Murphy. Okay? That is the, like, if we're doing anything besides Evloev Murphy, we got a 49, 46, 49, 46, 50, 45. Okay? Dominance at the very top level. We need a new test, a new challenge, a new something. New is the only thing I want to see. Not and new, but new. Okay? Volk has done the rematch thing. We've been there. We did that. Max Holloway. Diego Lopes. Been there, did that. Feel me? Something new, please. A lot of these names in the top 10, let's say, he's been there. He's did that. Yair did that. Max did that. He's no longer in the division, but you know what I mean. Diego Lopes did that twice, his last 2 times. Brian Ortega did that. So you know what the names are? Yeah. You already know. It's Evloev and Murphy, dickhead. It's Evloev and Murphy. That's it. Winner gets Volk. I don't want to hear any super fights. I don't want to hear any somebody coming up. I don't want to hear any keep busy fights. We're done with that era. It's Volk taking the winner of that fight. And I don't give a fuck if they're injured. March them in anyways. I'm tired of others. Actually, no. Give me the loser if somebody gets injured. But, I mean, Evloev Murphy, bro. The O got to go. And once that's done with, they get to face Volk. The winner that keeps their O gets to lose it against Volk. That's the sweepstakes here. That's the sweepstakes at hand. All right? That's the only thing that should happen. Anything else is wrong. Let's go look at these rankings. I'll fucking do it. You know what? Let's do it in the same window so you can see too. UFC rankings. I'll fucking do it. Look at that. Evloev sitting at number 1. Murphy sitting at 4. Criminal, by the way. Criminal, by the way. I mean, come on. What are we doing? Murphy should be above Lopes. The guy's undefeated, man. The guy's undefeated. He's been doing this for a long time in featherweight. 1 above Aljo is crazy. But anyways, Lerone Murphy, Movsar Evloev. You see the little mouse going? Lerone Murphy, Movsar Evloev. Once that's figured out, winner takes Volk, loser has to take any one of these assholes, however the landscape of the division looks at this point. Any one of them. All right? But strictly looking at the stats, Volk throwing almost 120 total strikes, almost 90% of those strikes being significant, which is crazy. The stat guys might have, same thing for Diego. All they threw is significance, apparently? Or are they counting total strikes and significant strikes separately and you have to add them up? I don't know, but that's pretty crazy. Of the 74 total strikes that Diego threw, 70 of them were significant. That's crazy. But yeah, 2 of 7 takedowns on Volk. Solid performance. You got to think about how that matches up against a guy like Evloev, a guy like Lerone Murphy. Lerone Murphy, that's going to be a problem because Lerone Murphy's going to want to keep this on the feet, and he's going to want to mix up his own takedowns. And Volk putting him on the back foot, that's going to be interesting there. If you use the same skill set against Movsar Evloev, this is actually probably a good game plan of victory as well. Mixing your own takedowns and make Movsar Evloev try to go backwards. But you never know what happens there. I like Volk in either of those matchups. Either way, I like Volk to get the record at featherweight defenses. So, but for Diego Lopes, this is not going to do it, bruh. This output is not going to do it. These takedowns not going to do it. It's just not. All right, but the people I see for him, if we're talking, let's make a storyline. Let's get him. Let's keep him back in the mix. Let's do stuff like that. Yair Rodriguez. We've been hearing about this shit from Noche for far too long. You know what I mean? Let's just can we get it? Can we finally get this? I'd like to see this bout underway. All right, Diego Lopes, Yair Rodriguez, bad blood there. I forget what was said last time, but something disrespectful might have been said. And they were jawing at each other. I would love to see that matchup. That would be able to get Yair Rodriguez back in the mix. I don't believe he has a matchup coming up next. If he does, it would be a surprise to me. Let's see. Yeah, he's not competing yet. He has surgery that he just had in October. So Yair Rodriguez, Diego Lopes will probably heal up 6 months, probably a hand injury. He's a striker, probably won't take a fight till 9 months. So 9 months after that would be June, White House-ish range. You know what I mean? So that would be a solid range for Yair, and that would give Diego 3 months off and then to get right back into a camp. I mean, he's been doing championship level camps for a while now, 5-round fights for a while now. So maybe a chance to get a 3-round fight and heal up would be nice for Diego. So I like the Diego Yair matchup. And if we're not doing that, if Yair needs more time off, he's taking more time. Diego doesn't want to wait for it. He wants to dictate who he fights and when he fights. What about Diego versus Arnold Allen? They're on similar timelines, and guys that come off rematches to Volk kind of get like no offense to Arnold Allen, a softer type lob at featherweight, and somebody that's can't hurt you anywhere singularly, but can mix it up well enough to win a fight. That would be Arnold Allen. That's kind of what they did with Max. They gave him, I think, Cater the first time, and then they gave him Arnold Allen the second time. Give him Arnold Allen. So if we can't get Yair, Diego should get Arnold Allen. But yeah, Volk definitely should get the winner of Movsar Evloev and Lerone Murphy. Shout out to Lerone Murphy. I fuck with him heavy. I really thought he should have got the title shot, especially with that dominant finish. Use the rankings. It sells. The storyline is deserved. It is a character like Murphy. If they go with Gene Silva, we're stuck in replaying the old Lopes storyline, exactly, which the fan base should hate. Yeah, and also the guy one fight removed from being finished, not losing, from being finished. From being finished. And you're going to get him a title shot? Stop it. Stop it. The only thing I want to hear right now is the winner of Evloev and Murphy. Everything else doesn't make sense. Everything else, it takes away the legitimacy that we've built upon these rankings. Okay? It takes it all away. So that's what I'm seeing here. That's what I'm seeing here. Those are only 2 matchups for those 2 guys. Let's take a look at the co-main. Oh, shit. Dan Hooker, Benoit Saint Denis. Look at this shit. Benoit Saint Denis did this in just over 1.5 rounds, by the way. Keep that in mind. I mean, 50 total strikes, 30 significant. He even tried a takedown attempt at some point. I don't know when that happened, but those 2 submission attempts were coming from when Benoit Saint Denis had 2 takedown attempts, and he attempted to gilly him, even though he promised us he wouldn't do that. Shout out to Dan Hooker. I know Oscar was ripping you over a couple of beers on that one. It was like, didn't you just say you weren't gonna? It's all good, brother. I heard you calling for a lot of matchups, and we have none of those in mind for you. Sorry. Benoit Saint Denis, 170 total strikes in a round and a half, essentially. 100, essentially 100 of them being significant strikes. 9 takedown attempts, 2 takedowns, but this is what he does. He spams those takedowns. Okay. Great performance out of BSD. Now, the durability has a question mark now because we saw Dan Hooker teeping to that body real nicely, and we saw those facial expressions. Can't hide that. Those 4K, 8K cameras won't hide that fucking facial expression at all. But yeah, BSD. Oh, yeah. You just won the Arman Tsarukyan sweepstakes, bud. I'm sorry. You just won. I mean, there's not much to do at lightweight right now. Let's go back to them rankings, shall we? Let's go back to them rankings at lightweight. Oh, tough time. Tough times. Luck of the draw. I mean, Max booked up with Charles Oliveira, you know? Can't do nothing there. Justin Gaethje's the interim champ. You got to assume he's waiting for the champ. Arman Tsarukyan sitting with, no man's land. Paddy Pimblett just lost to the interim champ, sitting in no man's land. Benoit Saint Denis, nice solid win over number 6. Got to think he'll be number 5, maybe number 6 after this. Everybody else is tied up. Now, BSD would probably love a Pimblett fight. Pimblett probably wants to get right back in there. That's not what I have planned for you, Patty. That's not what I have planned for you. And I won't talk about what I have planned for Patty, but yeah, it might get people mad if you hear what I got planned for Patty. But yeah, oh, you can't even see because my fucking mouse is in the way. God damn it. Well, anyways, hopefully you can see it now. But yeah, as you can see, Justin Gaethje interim champ. Champ's probably waiting for him. Arman Tsarukyan, no man's land. Oliveira Holloway happening, UFC 326. Paddy Pimblett just fought, needs a little bit of a timeline, take some time off. BSD, I feel like that was a performance where you don't really need to take that much time off, Not gonna lie, looked pretty good. We already seen most of these happen. Iterations, Renato Moicano, Beneil Dariush just happened, like all those. So we're looking up, right? He won the Arman Tsarukyan sweepstakes. Let's be honest with ourselves. He just won this. He lost the sweepstakes, really. But yeah, Arman needs a fight. What up, Gav? What up, mommy? How you feeling, brother? And then Joseph Hall 298 and this motherfucker BSD is doomed. He either waits for Patty to heal up, wait for Max or Charlie Olives, or he's got to take Arman. And the fight game doesn't like loitering. Exactly. And that's what sucks. Everybody's tied up or everybody just fought. And you're pretty healthy. What are you going to say? Oh, yeah, I have a bunch of belly aches. You better say you got a broken rib. You better say you got a broken rib or else you're getting Arman Tsarukyan, brother. You are getting Arman Tsarukyan. That's the only body attack that they're going to be like, oh, okay. All right. Collapsed lung even. You might have to fake one of those, brother, or else you're getting Arman. And I do not favor you against Arman. You're going to spam grappling. Arman's got a great gas tank, and he's even more fantastic at wrestling. We've seen that proven time and time again over BJJ and at RAF. He's got the better striking. We've seen him stand toe-to-toe with the welterweight champ. Feel me? And with many other guys of this division that have put hands on other guys. Mommy's saying, feeling cold. I know it's freezing over here, too. The ice is rock hard over here. Aioli just standing on top of a foot of snow like it's nothing. Because all the snow's turned to just rock hard foot deep ice over here. But yeah, unfortunately, you got to take Arman next, brother. You got to take Arman next. That's the fight. That's the fight, especially with a performance like that. You guys are both looking very dominant right now with a big TKO win over Beneil Dariush and now a big TKO win over Dan Hooker, somebody that rarely gets TKO'd, A lot of times guys are finishing him at subs. you know? Or if you're finishing him at TKO, it's usually down a weight class. Feel me? But anyways, yeah. BSD Armand. And for Dan Hooker. Oh, Dan. Dan's been saying a lot of things he's wanted. A lot of rematches he's wanted. He's been calling out. He's been calling out people not even in the division anymore. Oh, actually, he might have just came back, but he called out Edson Barboza. He's calling out rematches with Michael Chandler. He's looking down at number 12. You're looking down at number 12. I mean, he's probably even thinking about Beneil Dariush. He's like, Dariush just got smacked out. Maybe I get, you know, his mindset right now isn't the greatest. He just took 2 pretty bad L's. You know, it's okay. Patty. I think that's where Patty fights. I think Patty takes Dan Hooker. I know Patty will probably want to wait for an Oliveira winner, Oliveira Holloway winner, you know, especially since Gaethje's got his ticket to Ilya. Saryukin's in the shadows, and nobody really wants that fight anyways, if we're being honest. BSD just won himself that sweepstakes. He's not going to go down and fight a Gamrot, a Fiziev who just got knocked out, a Moicano. None of those make sense. Even though Moicano has called out Patty. Beneil Dariush coming off a TKO, how would he look calling him out? Chandler, he already beat the fuck up in a recent fight. It's Patty Hooker. It's Patty the Baddie, and it's Dan Hooker. That's got to be it. A mommy says, I drove my mother from Ohio to Florida, and it was cold when I got there. 20-hour drive just to still be cold. That's tough. I hope he took a little break. Was it a straight shot? Goddamn. But, yeah. Patty Dan Hooker. Patty Dan Hooker, that's all I want to see. They've been talking shit recently. They've been building the fight by accident. Maybe it's been on purpose, but in my opinion, it's been by accident. I want to see Patty. I want to see Hooker. In the co-main, what a win from Hoofy, bro. Fighting nerds, One Piece fan, anime fan. What a guy. Training with Volk now. Has some beef with his former present team. Gene Silva saying he's gonna train with Ilya so he can knock out Volk. You know, the words are flying across the camps, but it is what it is. He got himself the win, and that's what matters. This is an individual sport, and it's about you, my brother. So Mauricio Hoofy got himself a nice win, got himself back in the mix at lightweight. I mean, solid strike count, almost doubling up on Fiziev. A lot of those being significant, picking his shots well. No need for takedowns, but forced Fiziev to even get a look for a takedown, and that knockdown is what won him the fight. Never got him to recover. So Hoofy, there's a couple things. Actually, no, there's not a couple things. There's only one name I kind of like for him right now. And I think he needs to be tested. And I don't think this guy has a fight. If he does have a fight, it might have just got booked. But Mateusz Gamrot, that would be a good test for Mauricio Hoofy. I like Gamrot. The reason being, I mean, Gamrot coming off a not so great performance. Charles Oliveira, face crank, October, you know, similar-ish timelines, 3 months off, but similar-ish. We already had Gamrot take on a younger guy in Ludovic Klein. He did well. He's a guy that lost to Hooker. Okay. But he has wins over Rafael dos Anjos, and he has a win over Fiziev. They both own a win over Fiziev. So I would love Gamrot Hoofy. That would actually give Hoofy the grappler test again, because Gamrot, okay, he may not attempt as many submissions, but we'll get to see if Hoofy can fix some of those grappling holes if he does get taken down. So I would love to see Hoofy and Gamrot. And for Gamrot, conversely, it's a similar test. Can he be another up-and-coming striker? He lost to Dan Hooker. Gas tank failed him. I don't think it'll be a 5-rounder, but I think it should be a 5-rounder. It should be a fight night somewhere. Hoofy, Gamrot. Maybe fight night. Let's see. He lost in Brazil. He lost in Australia. Was Florida. That should probably be a Florida card. That should be like a co-main in fucking Orlando. You know what I mean? Or a main event in Orlando. It would be Hoofy Gamrot. Or like fucking Fort Lauderdale. UFC Fort Lauderdale or something. I don't know. Come back to Florida. There should be a lot of cards in Florida. I like Florida, but yeah. For Patty, I got the sense it's naturally built storyline given their real life heat. But what does he actually gain from taking that fight? Is he just doing Dana a favor because it's a big draw? Well, it's a winnable fight, number one. And number two, he has to get back on a streak. Patty's not a guy you could just walk back in there for a title shot. Maybe an interim, but for a real title shot, you can't just walk him back in there after taking a loss to Gagey. What has he done to even get there in the first place? Just a win over Chandler, who's ranked number 12 currently? Win over Tony Ferguson? No, he's got to string himself a couple of wins. So the first step towards that would be Dan Hooker. And then after that, we'd get himself a fight that would consider getting himself into a title shot, like the winner of or loser of Holloway Oliveira, depending on how the landscape of the division is. So that's why Patty needs that fight. He needs one to get, number one, bring his fire back. He's going to need some fire after losing some of it in a drubbing like that from Justin Gaethje. And number two, get himself a streak. Get himself a streak going. And no offense to Dan Hooker, but a guy like that with a name is a perfect guy to build a streak off of, especially at that point in his career and that point in Patty's career. Doing a favor for Dana is a very real mechanic, but I don't much upside or retiring Hooker for him. Oh shit. Don't retire Hooker. I mean, he's still got a couple wins. I know there were split decision wins and shit, but he's still got a couple wins. Damn, don't retire Hooker just yet. He's still got a lot of fight in him. Shit. Don't retire my man like that. Yo. I mean, he lost to Armand, who's one of the best in the division in BSD, but I mean, he still beat Gamrot. He still beat Jalen Turner, who just came back and looked fantastic. He still beat Numbercomer and Claudio Puelas. I mean, he still, he took on Micallef. He didn't look terrible. He beat Haqparast. There's a rematch in Chandler on the table for him if he does somehow lose his next fight as well. I mean, they would probably be on the same path at that point, actually. That would be 3 losses in a row for Michael Chandler, and it would be 3 losses in a row for Dan Hooker, and it would be 3 losses in a row for Michael Chandler. They'll be on the same path. So, a Patty Hooker fight is perfect timing for me. Should Dan learn to grapple? You can't teach an old dog new tricks. You know what I mean? Sometimes your fighter DNA is your DNA. I like to use that a lot in fights when I see bad fight IQ. I'm like, his DNA is his DNA, bro. He's just gonna fucking throw that IQ out the window and start swinging. You know what I mean? Sometimes your DNA is your DNA. And I think Dan Hooker's DNA is I'm not gonna be a fucking submission guy. I'm not gonna be a world-class grappler. The way I win fights is I get gritty, I put hands on guys, and I cause damage. And that's what he's got to do to win. I mean, sometimes matchups aren't gonna favor you. That's just how this game is. If matchups didn't favor people, Cowboy Cerrone would have been a champion. So, you know what I mean? That guy has indomitable spirit and wanted to inflict damage all the time too. And he had great jiu-jitsu too. But sometimes the styles just doesn't favor you. You know what I mean? Nice cheetah sheets, bro. Are you wearing cheetah print thongs as well? No. These are the it's actually safari themed in this bitch. Look at the pillow too. The pillow's got some fucking it's got some what's it called? Lion King theme shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? Hey, there's a whole theme in this motherfucker. Don't just boil it down to the sheets, bro. Don't fucking single me out like that. All right? I got a whole theme going in here. There's a decor involved. All right? There's fucking stuffed animals and shit. There's a little pig over there and a little fucking crocodile. I'm out here creating safari themes. Don't disrespect my cheetah sheets. How dare you? Should Dan oh yeah, we read that one. All right, yeah. So that's basically what I saw for Hoofy. And for Fiziev, a little time off, bro. Might not hurt, but maybe a Dariush or a Chandler fight. But time off, in my opinion, would be the best. That was a hell of a shot he took, and I hate watching fighters after any type of knockout, whether it's a TKO or a KO. I hate watching them come back too early and then start to chip away at what they have in their career. I mean, this is his first time truly being really knocked out in the UFC. I know Magomed Mustafayev got him very early in his career in his very first fight, but the knee injury to Gamrot was not a real TKO. He had wars with Justin Gaethje that went the distance. This is his first time getting knocked out. So I would prefer that Fiziev took a lot of time off, and I can't tell you where the landscape of the division will be when he does come back, but names that would be in mind because of they're in similar echelons right now of the division would be a Michael Chandler, and it would be a Dariush, unfortunately. But yeah, let's move on. We're going quicker now because those are the guys that, Tai Tuivasa, Tallison Teixeira. Man, let's get the bad news out of the way, huh? Retirement for Tai. I love you, Tai. I'm sorry, I gotta say it. I have to say it. I have to, bro. This is heavyweight. And the man is now on a fucking. He's now on a 6-fight losing streak, and he hasn't won a fight since 2022. I have to. Yeah, he has a win over Derek Lewis, but all the other guys he has wins over are no longer fighting in the UFC or no longer fighting in general. Stefan Struve, Harry Hunsucker, Greg Hardy, Augustus Sakai, Andrei Arlovsky, Cyril Asker, Rashad Coulter. 6 in a row? I know the last 2 were decisions. The first 4 were finishes, though. So, I know. If we're going to give him one last shot, if we're going to give him that Tony Ferguson, if we're going to give him that Tony, that one last go, and after this, we call it, you got to give him a shot. Just a shot. And there's only 2 names that I feel could give him a shot. 2 people that haven't been tested at heavyweight or have been tested at heavyweight and have not passed with flying colors. Mo Usman. This is my way of getting Mo Usman over a little bit. Like, okay, if you can beat Tai, all right, we have some hope for you yet. We'll get you in there. And you get to build a name for Usman off of an aging name, right? But if you're truly trying to get Tai Tuivasa back in there, truly trying to get him a win, yo, call me crazy. Buchecha. What about Buchecha, bro? What about Tai Tuivasa and Buchecha? Marcus Almeida. What if we did that? Tai could use his hands a little bit. Buchecha's striking wasn't that great. And his takedowns weren't that great either. Tai could maybe get back up. I mean, if it hits the ground, the floor is lava, it's over. I mean, that'll be the final nail in the coffin for Tai. But if he doesn't, and Tai puts those classic hands on him, and we get him to do that little Tai shake and fucking shoey time, that would be fucking awesome, right? Come on. I wouldn't mind it. That's all I'm saying. If we're trying to get Tai a shot, if we're trying to give him a shot, I wouldn't mind that Buchecha match. Could Cerrone have got a title if he didn't take all them fights? Yeah, absolutely. If he was selective in his career, if he played his not to call anybody out, but if he was more selective with his career, like some fighters we've seen in the UFC. Sorry. If he was more selective, then maybe, yeah. To be honest, he had all the tools. He always just fucked up at the worst times, like losing to Diaz, and like you just always fucked up at the worst times. But yeah, he probably could have been. He did get himself a title shot. He did, and just got knocked out. But yeah, tribal vibes. Can we at least retire Tai? Tony Ferg of heavyweight, thank you. Not even bare knuckles. Save yourself, Tai. Give him a hoke it or retire him. No, not hoke it. Wheels up. Not hoke it. That would end way too fast. Hoke it knows exactly what to do to beat him. Buchecha knows exactly what to do, but he might not be able to do it. That's why I like Tallison. That's why I like Buchecha for Tai. And as for Tallison Teixeira, I feel like there's only one real name. Shamil Gaziev. I feel like they're both guys that have been touched by guys of the mid to upper echelon of the division. It didn't go well for them. We kind of got to see who's got more juice in them or who will have a better time. I like Shamil Gaziev for Tallison Teixeira. You know, I don't mind that matchup for either guys. Tallison now coming off a dub. He's still coming off the L to Waldo, I think, or Delija. I forget who it was. One of those two. But yeah, that's what I like. Tallison also mixing in takedowns. New wrinkle to the game. 3 for 9 on those takedowns. But yeah, that output's definitely what won him the fight in the first 2 rounds. That third round, a little scary for Tallison. That gas tank will get tested. It will. So yeah, Tallison Teixeira. And the final fight of the main card, we had Quillan Salkilld and Jamie Mullarkey. I got an interesting matchup for Quillan. What about Manuel Torres? I don't think he is a fight booked. Another heavy hitter, could mix it up with some submissions as well. Really good at lightweight. Also, just on the outreaches of the division. I would like to see Manuel Torres killing Salkilld. I don't think he is a fight booked. And if not that, then what about a Ludovic Klein? We also mentioned him when we were talking about Gamrot? Ludovic Klein, I wouldn't mind that. Another guy in that similar pocket of the division, just under the top 15, but has a couple options if they want to somehow break into the top 15. Manuel Torres used to be a top 15, I believe. But yeah, I would love to see that. I would love to see that. And that fight, I got to say, probably ends in a finish. You know, that's an exciting fight that you could put anywhere. You could put it on in Manuel Torres' backyard. You could put it on in Quillan's backyard. You could put it on in the States. People are going to like that fight. And as for Jamie Mullarkey, man, we've seen him finish TKO, KOs, all that type of stuff, right? Buchecha lost to Martin Budai. Good call. Yeah. Lazy in this motherfucker, throwing up the one more round logos. And then he says, still hangover from that birthday, Lazy? Hey, we're about to find out. But yeah, as for Jamie Mullarkey, give him a contender series guy. Whatever contender series lightweight you got, Dana, that you're like, I want to see where he stands. Jamie Mullarkey will give him a tough fight. Jamie Mullarkey will give any up-and-coming lightweight a tough fight. But if you're one of those hammers, he's going to be the nail. So that's what I'm thinking. You get a contender series guy that you're maybe not a guy that got a finish, but a guy that got a decision contender series lightweight somewhere. I'm not going to name names, but get one of those guys. If you're like trying to see what he's really got, put him up against Mullarkey. I think Mullarkey will either turn somebody back and steal a decision, or if that guy can somehow get a finish, then you know you got something in that guy. So that's what I would do with Jamie Mullarkey next. I mean, hasn't had some people would say cut him. I wouldn't. Jamie Mullarkey's a fun fighter. And you could put him on any oceanic card. I feel like he's not that expendable just yet. I'd like to see a little more juice squeezed out of Jamie Mullarkey. I mean, he did get a win in his last fight before this against Rolando Bedoya. So 1-3 in his last 4. But just like in the Rolando Bedoya fight, he could turn a solid guy back. And if you have some juice to you, Nasrat Haqparast, Mauricio Ruffy, Quillan Salkilld, then you'll get past him. So yeah, that's what I see next for that guy. That's what I see next. All right, moving a little faster here. Pulling up. Oh God, we're going on to the prelims. We're pulling up on 11 o'clock. Hope you guys are going to enjoy MK. Junior Tafa, Billy Elekana. Guess what? Billy Elekana should get Alonzo Menafield. I think Alonzo Menafield is a good test for him. Another bigger guy. Another guy that'll probably try to use his size against him. Billy Elekana almost didn't pass the test against Junior Tafa. He got caught, dropped. That knee looked like it was about to tear some tendons. Looked like a PCL, MCL might have got a little stressed there, the way he fell on it. But he passed the test getting that rear naked choke. Now, can he win a striking fight against Alonzo Menafield? Because Alonzo Menafield is going to be a lot harder to get down, and you're going to have to fight a lot against the fence against Alonzo Menafield. Now, can you take the strikes of Alonzo Menafield? We'll see. I feel like that's the best next fight for him. And then if not that, next week we have a fight between, Williams and Jacoby. Winner of that fight. As for Junior Tafa, give me Ozzy Diaz. Ozzy Diaz is going to throw hands. He's going to oblige with you. If it starts going south, he might take you down. We'll see if Junior Tafa can pass that test. I'd love to see Ozzy Diaz and Junior Tafa next at light heavyweight. Moving on. Cam Rowston, Cody Brundage. Look at that output from Cam Rowston in 2 rounds, almost 3 rounds, but 2 rounds. Solid output. I liked what I saw out of him. Cody Brundage elected to not wrestle too much in this, only 1 takedown attempt. That might have been his undoing. Probably, almost certainly was. All right. But I think Cam Rowston should get a stateside fight. I want to bring him to the States. I feel like he has a style that could be fun over here. Give him a solid fight to prove what he can do. I like him against Cedricus Dumas. Put it on a Florida card. I like to see Cam Rowston kind of looks like a Florida dude, like one of them Florida fucking Bayou guys. Anyways, he looked at I was saying on the stream, he kind of reminds me of Nico Price a little bit. So Cam Rowston comes stateside, fights Cedricus Dumas, and your next fight. I like to see him fight stateside, probably on the next Volk card. I can't imagine he'd be too busy. We don't go over there too much, so he'd probably have to keep himself active. I imagine he'd have a visa. If not, he's waiting a long time because we literally have nothing in his region but the Macau China card May 30th. So that would be his best next chance, or Shanghai China, August 29th. So yeah, I'd like to see him stateside, possibly fight Cedricus Dumas at the Kaseya Center in Miami on UFC 327. I know that would be a bigger card, but I don't see more than 10 bouts figured out for that card. So that could be an early prelims bout. Just saying. I wouldn't mind that at all. This is a fun fight for Billy. I miss BC. He's way too professional on CBS. Oh no. Yeah, he's great. He'll find his pocket. Jacob Malkoun, Torres Finney. I like the loser of Belajoui and Abdul Malik to fight Jacob Malkoun. Whoever loses that fight, which I imagine will be Belajoui, I'd like to see him against Jacob Malkoun. And as for Torres Finney, take a lot of time off, bro. I don't know what happened with that knee before the fight. I don't know what happened. It looked like you popped something in the fight. You had a hard time standing on it. I think you take some time off to heal injuries, possibly come back in April. Maybe that's too soon, 2 months. But I would say the loser of Micallef and Gore, which will probably be Tresean Gore. I'd like to see Tresean Gore and Torres Finney. That'll be a good test for Torres Finney. Somebody that's going to want to keep it on the feet, stand and bang with him. We get to see if Torres Finney really does have power. And if he can't stand and bang with Tresean Gore, can he take him down and dominate him and use his gas tank to stay on top? Because you know Tresean Gore is fighting till the last bell. So, yeah, Tresean Gore, Torres Finney, whenever after the Micallef and Gore fight. Okay? Couple more that I'm going to do. I'm not doing the entire card. I just have a couple more left. Jonathan Micallef and Oban Elliott. Oban Elliott was actually looking really good in this fight until he got caught in that sub. I'd like the loser of Seokyoung Ko and Jacoby Smith to take on Jonathan Micallef. I think Jacoby Smith beats Seokyoung Ko in that fight, and it moves on to bigger and better things. I think Seokyoung Ko and Jonathan Micallef would be a really fun fight, and we could keep that regional if we'd like to. As for Oban Elliott, he was looking good, man. And I was going to say the winner of this fight, but I got to say the loser of this fight, the loser of Punele Soriano and Rami Brahimaj. Okay, New York, Oban Elliott, you could bring him back stateside if you'd like to take on Brahimaj. Soriano likes to travel. He wouldn't mind taking a fight against Oban Elliott across the pond, or if Oban comes over. So I wouldn't mind the loser of that fight of Soriano and Brahimaj. The loser of Soriano and Brahimaj. And the last but not least that I'll be matchmaking for is the first fight of the early prelims, Iza and Khan Offley. I don't think Khan Offley won this fight, and unfortunately for him, he's going to get a really tough matchup because of it. I think Khan Offley should take on Jose Delgado next. That's right, Jose Delgado was a freaking hammer, had a war with Nathaniel Wood. I like Jose Delgado against Khan Offley next. Khan Offley, can you take those strikes from a guy like Jose Delgado? You passed the test with Yiza. They gave you the decision. Jose Delgado's a younger, bigger beast. We'll see what happens there. And as for Yiza, you won that fight, brother. They need to give you a layup. That was some fucked up shit that happened. We're giving you Jekka Saragi. We're giving you Jekka Saragi, brother. Keep that shit regional. We'll probably put you on the Macau China card or the what was the other card? Or the Shanghai China card. One of those China cards. But we got to have Iza take on Jekka Saragi on that card. That's what I want to see for with those guys. I'm not matchmaking for any of the Road to UFC matchups. I don't know what they do with those guys, and I didn't watch them closely enough. I only saw out of them what I seen this past week. Nakamura, I would give a pretty solid fight. I'm not going to matchmake for him just yet because, still a couple holes that got to be figured out. But yeah, those are the matchmakings that I would make for all those guys on UFC 325. I hope you guys liked this segment. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys enjoy MK for the rest of the day. It is now 11 o'clock. Go ahead and tune on over to Morning Combat. They got some great news for you. My boy Luke Thomas, my boy Luke Nocita, Main Card Minute. Go check them out if you're not familiar with them. Also follow on these channels as well. If you guys like this, if you like the content, you can catch me over here. Main Card Minute on Saturdays, doing full card watch-alongs with the Main Card Minute. One more round fights where I do everything else. We might be having TKO Tuesdays tomorrow. I might be live tomorrow as well, same time. So go ahead, check me out. Appreciate everybody that pulled up and enjoyed the chat. Wheels up, LT's Commode. Shout out to Jamie Mullarkey for making me feel handsome as fuck. Shit, Mommy. Cosmo Kramer, appreciate you, bro. Dig it. No merch Monday at MK. Oh, shit. Lazy Bed, appreciate you pulling up, brother. Mommy, I think I said Mommy. Mad Spot Growth, appreciate you for hating on my sheets, but I appreciate you too. Joseph Hall. And I said, Wheels up, Richland, John Ray, Tanner, Christian L. All my guys, appreciate you guys for always showing love to the channel. Don't forget to follow on socials. We live tweet for the events, put out parlays, all that other stuff. And we're trying to get to 750 subs. So please subscribe to the channel. Appreciate you all. Hope you like the segment. I'll see you guys. Enjoy the rest of the week. Enjoy MK. I'm out. Deuces.
Meteor crashing in that earth. How my flow is hard since I was born. It's about time you notice. Smoke the bomb flower now. No, it's not the lotus. Cannabis, sativa, indica, whatever's growing. It's a self-prescription. I hope it's not in cursive. I read a fine print like Swiss. I'm subversive, not coercive and mediocre, cause I'm assertive. Put my way in the smoke sessions, now I'm assertive. Ash me out on a beat, I bet I get it high. Better keep the bass low. We drink, so get a case low. But my eyes real low like Janae's. Mary Jane, Mila J, 3 sons and 3 a day. Rolling on my women in my white sheets. High, I don't care if any lowlights even like me. Why? I'm too crazy and indifferent to use Visine. I'm often spacing, tripping till this ain't a pipe dream. Bye.